But looking at this book, The Malays, we can therefore reaffirm our position. And clearly I support this vision as opposed to this dominant mode of thinking represented by the colonial masters and UMNO. Syed Husin begins, of course, as Raja Kumar mentioned earlier, with a brief encounter with the history and the past, the role of the KMM and the Malay nationalist struggle that we did refer to earlier when we launched the book by our great friend Rustam Ehsani on the origins of the Malay left. But what was emphasized by Hussein Ali is the Putra AMCJA discourse on the issue of national identity in the People's Manifesto, which was clearly distributed the first assembly of Malayan nationalities, with Malays at the core, with adequate representation by non-Malays, but articulating a Malayan vision. Now, and this is referred to in this chapter from pre-colonial to post-independence. He attempted, probably on the initial advice by Raja Kumar, to deal with the issue of values, which I consider rather lacking in this discourse in this book, because and probably the following book probably to be written at home, not in this custody. The issue of values, because as you know, as articulated by Ali Shabana, values as a creating force in culture and society, the values do play a significant role in altering and affecting change in any society. But following this chapter, in the structure and social change, Syed Husin extended this issue of the role of values to more concrete, practical issues confronting the Malays and the Malay masses, not the Malay elite, the issue of poverty. He revised the edition, brought up some strong arguments to support that position, that although he did recognize the success of the NEP in terms of social mobility, yes, there has been some remarkable change, allowing for children from the poorer segments of the community, from the rural sector, coming up, but that's not commensurate with the massive aggrandizement and accumulation of wealth by the select a few members of the ruling clique and their families and cronies. Syed Husin, of course, consistent again to his view, and we have been having long debates on this, on the issue of his criticism of laissez-faire economic philosophy. And I had lots of problems because I happened to be Minister of Finance for 8 years, supporting a market economy. So we then compromised by endorsing a market economy, but very strong tampering with the principle of distributive justice. So we're not talking about propelling economic growth or registering impressive numbers in terms of growth, but ensuring that we undertake all measures possible to promote investments, conducive environment for business, but at the same time ensuring that this wealth must be fairly and justly distributed. And there is no basis for a ration of any country to claim to be democratic and economically vibrant if you continue to marginalize and impoverish a large number of your people, Malays, Chinese, or Indians. So what we call for, and this series of questions toward the end of the book, which requires a chapter for each book, for each question, is for systemic change in the economic policies. But Syed Husin has of course been criticized. That's why I took some trouble to mention this issue of values, because the strongest criticism, because he has this leftist cap, and this is not something which is considered to be positive, particularly among the conservative, neo-conservative and neo-feudal Malays. But he cited a very strong case in point to support his position vis-à-vis religion and values. By citing the issue of taqwa when invoked. When you invoke taqwa, piety and belief in Allah, how do you then rationalize that position with massive endemic corruption, with detention without trial, with cruelty, repression towards the vast majority of the people? And I think this is striking, it's compelling, it's an attractive argument as far as I see it, because to my mind there is no point in harping about religion or Islamic values if you continue to condone corruption and repression. That is, let me conclude by not only endorsing the substantive and compelling argument in this book, The Malays, but to appeal to the conscience of the Malays, to have the confidence to explore the myth of dependency, dispensing inferiority complex perpetuated by the colonial masters and their surrogates. This neo-feudal syndrome has become a means of patronage and control. We must disenthrall ourselves from these myths and fetishes. To quote the great Algerian thinker Almarhum Malik bin Nabi, no society can succeed with a captive mind, with an inferiority complex. A society can only succeed with the confidence, with the creativity, and with indigenous enterprise. What the Malays require is not a peculiar, racially based affirmative action policy, but we need, as the poor Indians and the Chinese, together with our Ibans and Sabahs require, is opportunities is space to move forward together in this great Malaysian family. What we require is the necessary support based on the principle of justice, so that genuine Malay talent and creativity can and inshallah will flourish. Terima kasih.